Right now, multiple school district communities are mourning the loss of a beloved educator after Verona district principal was killed in a tragic accident this morning.
Plus, a historic day on Capitol Hill as a new Congress is sworn in, but the majority party struggles to find its leader.
And the city hopes it has an answer to a transportation issue, helping hundreds get to much-needed medical appointments after 3 cab companies closed last month. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Sad news in Fitchburg. A woman killed this morning when she was hit by a vehicle while out on a walk. And tonight, we have learned she is Beth Steffen, a principal in the Verona area school district. It was around 6:30 this morning when police say that crash happened on South Cyene Road. She was taken to the hospital, but later died from her injuries. And this afternoon, the Verona district superintendent told families Steffen had been killed.
She was the principal at Badger Ridge Middle School. That's where Armand Rahman is tonight, who spoke with a former colleague and student of hers. Armand?
Eric and Charlotte, Steffen worked at Beloit High School, La Follette High School, Edgewood High School, and of course here at Badger Ridge Middle. And students and colleagues tell me that they remember her not just for supporting them through her studies, but also through their struggles with life. Beth Steffen impacted many on her path through South Central Wisconsin's education world, and many say they can remember no other like her.
She's a really, really good human.
Great people are hard to come by, and she was one of them.
But for Jennifer May, Steffen was more than great. She was a lifeline for struggling teens like herself.
I wouldn't be here. There's no way I would. I went through some really horrific things. And just knowing that she was there to listen to me is what kept me here.
May says she was dealing with an unsafe home while at Beloit High School. When she journaled about her situation, Beth Steffen lent a much-needed ear and a kind heart.
My mother had said some things that were very abusive, and she had just put something, in the border, like, yeah, that does sound really painful. And just knowing that somebody was hearing me, that's what kept me going. She was amazing. Yeah, I'm really grateful for her.
It's that extra mile that former colleague James Listug saw Steffen go while they worked together at Edgewood High School.
She made it a point to walk over when the first day she was hired and shake everybody's hand. And when I mean everybody, I mean even the maintenance crew.
And she helps students understand the world around them with an all-school read about a Southern lawyer and equal rights activist.
That was the focus for a whole year, and really got kids out of their comfort zone to really talk about things in a frank way that maybe at a parochial school they never really experienced before.
While Steffen is unfortunately no longer teaching young minds, May says her legacy can never be erased.
She's made an impact on everyone because now I have children, that I can help and be there for in the way that she modeled for me. She's amazing. She's really amazing.
And the superintendent of Verona Schools released a statement to families about Steffen's death, which reads in part, "The Verona Area School District has experienced a deep loss today. I am writing with extremely sad news. Our hearts are beyond broken. School staff, including counselors and social workers, are available to assist students and staff. And the police say the driver of the vehicle that hit Steffen did remain on scene and is cooperating with their investigation." We have more statements from MMSD as well as Edgewood High School officials in this story on channel2000.com. For now, live in Verona, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. And an update now to a story we first told you about last night. The body of 37-year-old Matthew Haas, who has been missing since New Year's Eve, has been recovered from the Wisconsin River. Haas was last seen in downtown Wisconsin Dells. Police and search teams have been looking for him since this morning around 10:20. They recovered his body from the river. Police say foul play is not suspected. We're also getting an update on some breaking news from last night, where investigators looked into what caused a fire that significantly damaged the Associated Milk Producers Inc. building in Portage. Viewer video shows this large fire coming from the facility. The Portage fire chief said it started in a storage room filled with butter, and when it melted and began flowing through the building, he says it made it more difficult to get at the flames. No injuries were reported.
Also in Portage, police say they provided some extra presents at the city's high school today after someone called the school with an anonymous active shooter threat that was later ruled not credible. The school was briefly put on lockdown as police searched the building and surrounding grounds. A federal court ruling today ending the latest chapter in a several years-long battle between Edgewood High School and the surrounding neighborhood. The judge dismissed a case filed by Edgewood against the city over the installation of lights on the school's athletic field. The dispute dates back to at least 2018 when Edgewood and the nearby neighborhood association sparred over the installation. The school sued the city in 2019 alleging religious discrimination after a zoning board barred games from the field. Edgewood dismissed the case in 2020, but the following year filing another suit, this one on the federal level, which has now also been dismissed.
A look over downtown Madison. The fog has moved in. Not much to see here, and we might need to get used to this dreary weather. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart tells us why in our first warn forecast. Greg?
Yeah, the positive that we're not going to deal with any freezing rain or ice on the roads tonight. Unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with the visibility issues, and that's what's going on right now. So you're traveling, it's really going to be the dense fog tonight. So if you're out, use the low beams and obviously reduce speed. It's going to be off and on. Right now, visibility 1.5 miles to Madison, further south, you down to a quarter. And it's spotty here and there, but definitely it's going to be something to take in mind overnight. There's a dense fog advisory for some of the areas there for until 2 a.m., but I think we'll still see some throughout the morning hours too. The system that we're looking at is really pushed off to the east, but we're kind of left with just a low cloud cover, and that means just drizzle, although we're going to start seeing some of the higher clouds to the west rotating around it. That's going to be what's going to be eventually come in. You can kind of see that to the north. Most of the precipitation right now is to the west to Minneapolis, but we're starting to see some of the showers spread over into our area a little bit. That's more going to be something we're going to watch for tomorrow as we get to that time frame. Right now, temperatures in the mid-30s. That's the positive news right now. We're not going to see any freezing temperatures tonight, so roads should be fine. Just going to be wet. Zooming in on the radar once again, we can see that there's just a few showers out there. That is ice from last night to give you an idea how much ice it is. But there's your temperatures above freezing, light winds. Once we start getting that southwest wind, I think we'll start drying a little bit out. But then we have the snow coming later tomorrow night, and I'll time that out and exactly how much we'll get by Thursday morning a little bit later in the broadcast.
Tony Evers, and yes, I am jazzed as hell to be sworn in again as a 46th governor of the great state of Wisconsin.
The start of a new legislative session today at the Capitol, the first major speech of the governor's second term. He outlined some of his priorities, and that includes how to spend a record-setting budget surplus. Republicans have been pushing to give some of that money back to taxpayers. The 118th Congress got off to a rocky but historic start in the House of Representatives, failing to elect a speaker on the first ballot. That's a first since 1923.
And after two more unsuccessful tries, they adjourned for the night to try again tomorrow. CBS's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington.
Surname, a speaker has not been elected.
For the first time in 100 years, it's taking multiple rounds of voting to elect a House Speaker.
Hunt. McCarthy.
Republicans, with their new but slim majority, failed to unite behind a single candidate over 3 ballots on Tuesday.
No one in this body has worked harder for this Republican majority than Kevin McCarthy.
Frontrunner Kevin McCarthy fell short of the 218 votes needed to secure the gavel, with more than a dozen GOP members withholding support.
If you want to drain the swamp, you cannot put the biggest alligator in charge of the exercise.
McCarthy offered several concessions up until the last minute, but it wasn't enough to win over his critics.
They were given everything they wanted, and they couldn't say yes.
Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon says the infighting needs to stop.
These folks refused to be part of the team, and by doing so, they hurt the entire Republican Party. They hurt Congress.
Meanwhile, all 212 Democrats supported New York's Hakeem Jeffries.
He does not grovel to or make excuses for a twice impeached so-called former president.
Realizing the body was at an impasse, the House adjourned until Wednesday afternoon. On the other side of the Capitol, the Senate handled its opening day business without drama. Vice President Kamala Harris swore in 35 newly elected or re-elected senators. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Now, no House business can begin until there is a speaker, and that includes the swearing in of members. Back in 1856, it actually took 2 months and 133 votes to choose a House speaker.
An update tonight on the condition of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. We are told he is still in the hospital hospital listed in critical condition. He's on a ventilator, which is helping him breathe after suffering a cardiac arrest on the field last night. Fans and those supporting him gathering outside of U.S. Medical Center tonight and in Buffalo, hoping and praying for his recovery. Last night's game was suspended and eventually postponed, the first for the league. The man being charged in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students appeared in a Pennsylvania courtroom today. Brian Koberger did not contest his extradition to Idaho to face murder charges. Police are still looking for a motive. Koberger's attorney says his client hopes to be exonerated of the charges.
Some incredible new drone video tonight from Orange County, Florida. Fire rescue showing crews working to rescue 62 people from the wheel at Icon Park in Orlando after the ride lost power New Year's Eve. The video shows fire crews climbing up to the ride to reach the people who were trapped inside. More than 20 of the pods were occupied when the ride stopped functioning. New footage of a rescue operation in Northern California after a Tesla drove off a cliff near Devil's Slide. 4 people were inside the vehicle, 2 adults, 2 children. Cal Fire says the car fell about 250 feet down. New tonight, the New York Times is reporting the father deliberately drove the car off the cliff. He's been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and child abuse. All 4 survived.
Also new at 10, a U.S. national park made up of a cluster of uninhabited islands in the Florida Keys closed this week after some 300 migrants made 10 landings there over the weekend. Dry Tortugas National Park, about 70 miles west of Key West, was closed so law enforcement and medical personnel could evaluate the migrants before moving them to Key West. More local news now. After 3 Madison cab companies closed last month, hundreds of people were left without reliable transportation to critical doctor's appointments, such as dialysis or heart monitoring.
But as McKenna Alexander explained, some 2023 city initiatives aim to bring a solution for those nursing homes and hospitals now struggling to reach those patients. McKenna?
Yeah, tonight Madison's Common Council introduced a few different resolutions that work to build on Dane County's already established transportation services for older adults and people with disabilities. During Tuesday night's Common Council meeting, several agenda items continued the expansion of transportation services for people with disabilities and people 65 and older in Madison. The first authorizes the mayor and city clerk to allocate additional funding, specifically $24,300, to go toward both Metro Transit operations, information and promotion, as well as the county's specialized transportation services for people with disabilities. The second continues the city's volunteer driver escort services that allow people to use their own vehicles to transport both elderly citizens and people with disabilities to critical services such as timely doctor appointments. The third confirms that in 2023, Metro Transit will again receive state funding to assist in operating the county's paratransit program. 3 resolutions that, while annual initiatives, combine to reinforce the availability of resources for the hundreds of Madison residents now searching for transportation options. Now again, these resolutions for referral build on Dane County's transportation services for those in need. For more information on if you're eligible for rides, just visit DaneCountyHumanServices.org.
McKenna, thank you. And new tonight, NASA is mourning the death of a space pioneer. Retired astronaut Walter Cunningham died today. He piloted the first manned crew in the space agency's Apollo program. The Apollo 7 mission launched in 1968 and lasted about 11 days. 9 months later, Apollo 11 landed on the moon. Cunningham was 90 years old. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast as the fog moves into Madison.
Plus an update from Southwest Airlines as it tries to return thousands of lost luggage.
PB&J?
PB before we go.
P before we go.
P before we go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.
This holiday season at the Century House. Give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Save big money in your next project now at Menards. Start a bathroom renovation with a U-Tile shower kit. They look and feel like tile and can be installed easily in just one day. Save big money on Max U-Tile shower kits. Complete the look with Shaw vinyl plank flooring. Choose the look of tile or wood. It's also waterproof and easy to install, making it the perfect choice for your bathroom. Save big money on Shaw flooring now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
At Lawton Cates, justice means helping with your medical bills, standing up to the insurance company, and demanding compensation for lost time at work. And there's never a fee until we deliver results for you. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
Rub these little weenies, not with my low E.
Millions are suffering from low energy, commonly called low E.
Conga line around the family room? Not with my low E.
I can't even blow up this celebratory balloon.
Well, I live this way. Planet Fitness replaces low E with Big E, which keeps you energized and glowing all day. Simply join through the free PF app. $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 12th.
Look at my wieners now.
Did you know if you turn to cold with Tide, you can save up to $150 a year on your energy bill?
How?
The lower the temp, the lower your bill.
Tide cleans great and cold and saves money? I am so in.
Save $150 when you turn to cold with Tide.
Morning. Who said that? Whoa, where did that come from? Floating money.
Funny.
Good luck out there.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, please welcome Wendy McClendon-Covey.
We have 7 cats, which is a normal amount. 8 is crazy, but 7 is fine.
Plus, Kirby Howe, Batsy. Come on out.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A $785 million lottery jackpot up for grabs tonight. Here are tonight's Mega Millions numbers: 25, 29, 33, 41, 44, and the Mega Ball 18. Tonight's drawing is the 4th largest Mega Millions jackpot in the game's history. Tesla delivered a record 1.3 million vehicles in 2022, up 40% from 2021. Despite that growth, the electric automaker still disappointed Wall Street. Tesla stock plunged 65% last year, largely due to weakened demand. The company missed targets and scaled back production in China. Just last month, Tesla announced a rare sale to clear out inventory.
Southwest Airlines is being sued over its massive Christmas meltdown. In the lawsuit brought by a passenger, he accuses the airline of violating federal law. He says instead of providing prompt refunds for canceled flights, Southwest offered credit towards a future flight. And people with lost luggage over the debacle may also have to wait even longer to be reunited with their belongings. Today, Southwest says it hopes to get most of the luggage returned by the end of the week. In an internal memo to workers, Southwest Airlines CEO Bob Jordan says the airline is relying on volunteers for extra help. Soccer great Pele was laid to rest this afternoon after thousands lined the streets of the city of Santos to view his funeral procession.
The procession had started at the Urbano Caldera Stadium, home of Pele's former club, and his coffin was carried through the streets of Santos, including the street where Pele's 100-year-old mom lives. And check this out, Pele was laid to rest at a unique place, the world's tallest vertical cemetery. Pele was buried on the 9th floor at the Ecumenical Memorial Necropolis Cemetery in Santos. According to reports, the 9th floor was chosen to honor Pele's father, Don Dino, who wore the number 9 shirt when he played soccer.
Well, let's go to Greg now. He's back with a look at the forecast and on a foggy night across southern Wisconsin.
Feels like I'm in California in the marine layer right now with the haze. So it's definitely, it's a good thing that we're going to see there. But we're going to see it eventually. The sun will come out Friday, maybe.
Okay, Friday.
Maybe. We'll hope so. But this is a lingering system that just continues to spin, and it's going to be a while, probably, like I said, till Friday till we see the sun. But overall, you can kind of see where the location is right now over Iowa. The backside of it, where the colder air is, that's where they continue to see the snow, northern Wisconsin over to Minnesota. We stay kind of in the warm, mild air, the real warm air as well to the south, but we're going to start transitioning to a little bit of colder air. So you still got the winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. They still got snow up to the north. That should continue. continue, but it's going to start winding down here as we go through the next several days. Tonight, it's just really going to be the fog. We're not going to deal with any freezing rain or any precipitation like that. Temperatures will stay above the freezing mark. Tomorrow is when the transition starts to occur to be going back to snow. We could see a mix in the afternoon, and then Wednesday night into Thursday morning is when we'll probably see temperatures back below freezing. So snow, a little bit of accumulation, but definitely could see some refreezing in the moisture. Right now, that low is going to be in the lift north. You can see eventually by tomorrow we'll start seeing some of that cold air with the westerly winds start to pull that into the area along with some snow and eventually more concentrated snow as we get towards tomorrow evening. And then tomorrow night, as you see, the low continues to spin. It starts to widen out and weaken by Thursday, but still, we're not going to see much in the way of improvement until Friday. Overnight, you see the temperatures mid-30s. We're not going to see temperatures really pretty steady overnight. Once we get to tomorrow morning, you'll start seeing the temperatures falling down through the afternoon just because of the cold air begins to push here. You can see by the time we get to 7 a.m., 9 a.m., we're starting to see some of that snow begin to push in. More flurries probably than anything else. We'll see more snow showers as we get towards the afternoon or evening. Madison probably more towards the evening. Temperatures will finally hit the 32-degree mark probably late evening, and then overnight we'll start seeing more snow. Once again, a little bit of accumulation, but we're not expecting a lot. Off and on visibility, what's going to help is those winds turn around from the southwest. It should get at least some dry air in here, so I don't think we'll see a widespread dense fog in the morning, but we'll definitely see pockets of this off and on through at least probably the noon hour once again until we see more in the afternoon. We'll probably see more showers. That'll at least limit the visibility that we'll have issues with it going into Wednesday night and Thursday. Snow amounts, not expecting a lot, really. Maybe an inch to maybe 2 inches by the time we get to Thursday. Like I said, it's just a little bit, but you could see some freezing of the moisture come Thursday morning. So a morning commute problem, regardless of how much snow we get, we're going to see that. As we get past that system, we may see that sun come Friday. Eventually, we might see it come there. I got my things screwed up here, but let's go back there. Overall, we're going to see the temperatures that could get to the freezing mark once we get there. And then next week, we should see temperatures in the mid-30s. It looks like we might see our next system by the end of next week. But overall, it's still a mild pattern for January where we could be well below zero this time of year. So that is, I guess, the positive news for many folks.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin gets it done without their senior leader. Why Tyler Wall left the game and who stepped up off the bench. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. One call, that's all.
Introducing Sass, Sauce and Shells, a bold new restaurant on Madison's Capitol Square, combining the best of barbecue and shelled seafood by Chef Joe Perkins. Add a little sass to your lunch or dinner plans today. Open 7 days a week.
Are you tired of clean clothes that just don't smell clean? Downy Unstoppable's in-wash scent boosters keep your laundry smelling fresh way longer than detergent alone. If you want laundry to smell fresh for weeks, make sure you have Downy Unstoppable's in-wash scent boosters.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-803-2714 or go to sonobello.com.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Since group has started in the 80s, we've been cheering on the true champions of Milwaukee, you and yours. We've been on this path together for 35 plus years. We've had your back from the jump. Let's keep rising together. One call, that's all.
There's no better way to start off the new year than with a matchup against your biggest rival. Wisconsin welcoming Minnesota to the Kohl Center to renew a rivalry that hasn't really been much of one lately. Badgers have won 13 of the last 15 meetings. Tyler Wall played just 9 minutes because of a lower body injury. So guys like Carter Gilmore had to step up. Helps when Chucky Hepburn is dropping dimes like Chase Wolf out there. Gilmore flushes it home for 2. 30 big minutes from him off the bench. And speaking of Chucky, well, that man has some handles. Hepburn takes it to the rack for the easy deuce. He dropped 16 and had 5 steals. Badgers led by 6 at the break, and they were paced by Steven Crowell. Big Steve finished with 17 points and 5 rebounds. Badgers grind out another win. 63-60 is your final. Huge high school girls basketball game in Division 4. Number 4 Randolph hosting 5th-ranked Westfield. And the Pioneers got off to a hot start. Nadia Hoffa dials one up from deep to give Westfield an early lead. Hoffa finished with 19. Now Randolph would answer with their record breaker. Jory Buwalda banks it home for 2. She finished with a team-high 14 and in the process became the program's all-time leading scorer. But the Pioneers were just too much tonight. Carly Drew steals it and then stops and pops for 3 of her game-high 20. Westfield knocks off Randolph 62-39. Giannis back in the starting lineup after missing Sunday's game, and he made up for lost time in this one. First, the Greek Freak slams it home with ease, and then later, he's going to glide in to the cup for 2+1. Career-high 55 points for Giannis. He also had 10 boards and 7 assists. Bucks back in the win column. They win by 10. Probably the best way to describe the Packers' season would be a roller coaster. After Week 12, the thought was Green Bay was done. The chances of them making the playoffs was at around 3%. Time to sit Aaron Rodgers and let Jordan Love finish the year. Well, now after 4 straight wins, the Packers are dubbed the team nobody wants to face in the postseason. Crazy how the narrative of this team has changed in a month's time.
If you follow along with the narrative, you really ride this crazy roller coaster throughout the season. I never really have. I've just always believed in my guys, believed in myself, and obviously love where we're at. We don't have to have anybody do anything. A lot of people have done a lot of great things. Big kudos to the Browns last week for that win. You know, but a lot of people have done a lot of things for us. Now nobody needs to do anything for us except us winning a game.
And it's the news we already knew, but now it's officially official. Luke Fickell has added Mike Tressel and Phil Longo to his coaching staff. Tressel, who led Cincinnati's defense, will serve as Wisconsin's defensive coordinator, and Longo will take over UW's offense after 4 seasons at North Carolina. We're back after this.
Stanton Optical independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
Get up to 80% off list prices during our huge inventory reduction sale at Slumberland Furniture. $20 million worth of furniture and mattresses must go. Lowest prices around on TV consoles, recliners, bar stools, sofas, mattresses, and lots more. Get the deal of a lifetime on clearance, one-of-a-kinds, scratch and dents, and more. Stores are packed with merchandise that must go. Up to 80% off at the huge inventory reduction sale on now at Slumberland Furniture.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. To help you take walks again. To ease your pain. To rebuild your strength. And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care. We care about you. You.
You. They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Not attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
New year, new you? Join Anytime Fitness and get 30 days free. Get more out of your membership than just machines. Because here, you can lift your weights and lift your mood. Now through January 31st, get 30 days free at Anytime Fitness. Hurry in now.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Greg's back. One final look at the forecast.
Last night freezing rain, tonight's fog. So that's the positive. The positive, like I said, in all this is we're not dealing with the cold temperatures. So it's going to be fog out there, but the roads will be wet. But tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, that's when snow could come, maybe some slick roads. Just pay attention for tomorrow night.
All right. Be safe out there, folks. Greg, thank you, and thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.